Here's a quick tip video for you. A lot of my students are afraid of masking fluid because of the harsh lines that you get when you remove the masking fluid. The best advice I have about masking fluid is to use the smallest implement you can use. I use this little color shaper. It has a nice point, so sometimes I use that. I also use a stylus. The secret, I think, to being successful with masking fluid is actually these little brushes, the little flat brushes. This one is just a master's touch, tiny little, they call it a number 5. It's good for scrubbing out. This is another 3/8 inch master's touch. You don't need an expensive brush for this, but you do need a soft but fairly firm one to actually lift out the pigment. And the way I do it is I just go around with, and make sure these are very clean. So I'll go around with a clean paper towel and soften any lines, just gently agitating it until you get a soft line. So if you have a harsh line like this, you want to make that white line edge smaller, you just agitate, be sure there's not too much water on your brush, agitate the edges until you get down to and drag that pigment actually toward the edge. And you may have to add more pigment later, but for right now, we're just softening the transition between this and the white line. Softening that edge, that's what it's called. As you can see, keep the white where you want the white, but then it diminishes it by just softening that edge. And I go around petal by petal, and I soften all the edges. Now see, this is a very dark edge here, so to soften that, you have to wet this slightly, and then agitate the edge. But you don't want to erase all of the white, and then come back in and be sure you have a smooth, even transition here. And that's the way I do it. The other advice I have is don't take all your masking off at one time because it's overwhelming. So if you're trying to work in a certain area, if I hold my finger on that area and I find that area over here, I can clean it up and get the shape of the petal back, which is of course what you lose with the masking fluid. So I'll just continue to go around. I've done the edges on up here and here, and I work toward the center. So I'll get these done next. These have been done. You can see the softened, where the edges have been softened and transitioned. So that's how I do it. So I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please subscribe to my channel.